Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Wisdom and Light here, and I am back with another fun video. So we need something to just get the edge off a little bit, and I thought it would be really cool to read into the 3 couples that made it on Love is Blind. So if you guys are new here, welcome. Hi, this is Wisdom and Light. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. All right, cool. So I already set up 3 piles for the 3 couples. Okay, this is the first pile, the second pile, and the third pile are on the side. I will bring them to the camera when we get to the next couple. And I'll also put timestamps down below so you guys can click on which couple you guys would like to see. So the first pile is for Lauren and Cameron, okay? I wanted to read on them first, and the crystal that resonated with me to use for them is the rose quartz. And I just thought rose quartz, it just felt really good to use rose quartz for them. And the first card that came up for them is true love, okay? This love is real and true. This is a healthy, emotional, and genuine connection. You are giving and receiving more love in your life. Ooh. This may pertain to you reaching the vibration of unconditional love, or you are manifesting a high vibrational relationship. So I love that the true love card came up for Lauren and Cameron. They're so cute together, and you know, at the end of the day, I am a hopeless romantic, so I'm happy for them. And I already selected cards intuitively. For these two. So let's jump on in. What are the messages coming through for Cameron and Lauren? The first card that comes through is Magic. That is the first card that comes up for the both of them. The next card we have is 4 of Arrows, which is really 4 of Swords. We also have Love. Okay, we have Contemplation. We have 8 of Staves, 8 of Wands. And lastly, Innocence. So what is the divine message that is coming through for these two? So what I'm seeing is that this is love. And the song that I keep hearing is that song from Cinderella, So This Is Love. That's the song that I keep hearing intuitively because that's the song that matches them so well. We have the Magic card which steps in. It talks about how they genuinely do understand each other and they were meant to be together. This was supposed to happen. They do have a soulmate connection and they were supposed to be in this relationship together. So whether they make it or not, I hope they make it, but whether they make it or not, they were meant to meet. They were meant to be together in this lifetime. So I thought that was really beautiful that it comes through, being that the Magic card is here. Now the 4 of Swords is also here because it is time for them to rest. I do feel like for the promotion of the show in the beginning, they were doing a lot of touring. They were doing a lot of things to create buzz for the show because they were married a year and a half before the show actually aired on Netflix, okay? But I will say that, of course, the traveling and the networking and the PR, it is exhausting on them. And they are being called to lay low. Now, of course, because all of us are about to be on quarantine very soon, it's coming at such a great time because it was starting to get to them with the hype and everybody wanting to be up in their business, everybody asking them questions. And I do feel that Cameron has a lot of introvert tendencies. So even though, yes, they are very friendly and they're out and about and they love interacting with the people that support their relationship and their marriage, which is beautiful, they were feeling the pressures of social media, people asking them a lot of questions, people DMing them. They were dealing with a lot of that and it was starting to get to them and disturbing their peace. So I do feel that right now they are being called to lay low and take care of themselves. We also have the Love card, which is stepping through as well. I'm predicting a baby is going to be manifesting very soon between these two. They are meant to have children. Then we have Contemplation. We have the 8 of Wands and we have the Innocence card. So what I'm going to say are predictions that are coming up when the whole pandemic calms down, because it will. I do see that a job opportunity is coming up for Cameron and that might cause a little bit of distance. And we have the 8 of Wands here, fast move pace, like fast moving. And I keep seeing that he might be asked to work abroad. He might have to travel for work. I'm not exactly sure on why I'm picking up on distance, but it is coming up. I'm not seeing separation because they're still together and there's still a lot of love here. but their work life could take them to different places. So they're going to have to come together and figure out how they're going to be in a relationship if he's over there and she's over here. And it feels like a short period of time, but because they're very much always together, I can see why this might be like, ah, damn, you have to do this. I wanted to do this with you. But they will adjust, and we have the innocent card that is here as well. So they fell in love innocently, and I am loving the dynamics here. Now, these cards are my sex tarot, so it's a little bit explicit. So just heads up. We have the Hierophant. We have the High Priestess. How does he sees her? There's a lot of sexual attraction here. We also have the Seven of Swords. Now, you see, I keep seeing that distance. That distance is coming up, but it's short, and I feel that it might be like 3 weeks. 3 weeks I'm seeing, like 3 weeks of like them not being in the same space because of work. Or it really could be not wanting to be together for quarantine. I'm not exactly sure, but there's separation on the horizon, but not in a sense of breaking up or divorce. I'm not saying that. It just means that they might have to be distant just for a little bit, and then they come back together, swinging. They come back stronger than ever, and that's what I'm seeing. We have the Moon. Okay, gorgeous. We have the Three of Pentacles, and then Three of Cups. Ooh. And then lastly, we have the Seven of Cups. And then we have the Knight of Cups. So I feel that a baby is coming. I feel that work is going to take them away from each other for a little bit, maybe about a week to 2 weeks time. But other than that, they're meant to be together. They're meant to stay together. Now, I also wanted to pull on how are their families doing? How are their families doing? I keep picking up that the father of Lauren doesn't like all of the attention that he's receiving. So he might be a little bit standoffish, a little bit. Not towards them, but just in general, because he doesn't like the attention that he's getting. He's not a celebrity. He doesn't want all of that around him. So I do feel that, yes, he's supportive, but he also wants to be left alone. So his energy is like, leave me alone. That's his energy that's coming through. Okay. We also have Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups comes through. Their families are getting along great, but I don't know. They're not used to this attention. They're not used to all of the hoopla. So they're adjusting, and then they have to work away from each other for a bit, and then they come back together, and then I see a pregnancy and just happiness. Overall, I'm not really seeing anything else other than this was a very, very good union for them. This was a good decision. 1, 2. Okay, any messages coming through? Love yourself first. So another thing that is coming through that I was going to say, and the Ten of Wands is here for a reason. Another thing that I do want to say is that Lauren is very independent, and I feel that she needs time to herself. She needs time to refocus and reground herself, and she's adjusting to we. It's always been I, and she's adjusting to we. Now, her husband is completely okay with them being inseparable and always being around each other. But it's Lauren that needs a little bit more of, okay, I was with you for like 6 hours and I want like 2 hours to myself. And the only conflict that I see is really her wanting that peace and that time to herself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody is different in their own way. So they're going to adjust and work on that. So I guess while there is a separation happening in regards to work, it's work related. It's nothing crazy. It's work related. This could give her that space that she needs so she can like flourish and nourish herself. Because it's just that saying of, she's like an introvert, extrovert. Like, she puts herself out there, but when she wants to be by herself, she wants to be by herself. When she wants to read a book and just chill, that's what she wants to do. She doesn't want to be bothered. So she's starting to reach that point where she doesn't want to be bothered. So that's what's coming through in her reading. But I do feel that right now, as much as they're loving each other, they are also being called to make sure they are taking care of their responsibilities and loving themselves in the process. Trust the situation is calling you to have faith, and things will start making sense. And then heart-to-heart conversations. They have a very deep bond, so I'm not worried about this couple, but they are a favorite, and I wanted to just touch base on it. Hence why the crystal that they got is the rose quartz, and I can completely understand why they received the rose quartz crystal. So as much as they love each other, the message for these two is make sure you're loving on yourself too, and you have self-love within yourself, and you're fulfilling the things that you want to do. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for the first couple. We're going to jump into Barnett and Amber. The crystal that resonated with me for these two is the tourmaline. Okay, releasing and detoxing. So that's the first thing I felt for them. The message that they received is reconciliation. Okay, this is coming together with someone and working on whatever that has been torn apart. This could be a past connection. This person is praying for a new beginning with you. Be willing to give this relationship or connection a second chance. You may be receiving an apology or compromise. So the first thing that came up in this reading for Barnett and Amber is the fact that there is a lot of, you scratch your back, I scratch mine. A lot of compromising is happening here. And I don't feel that Barnett is used to it. So let's look into the cards. Let's look into the cards and just see what's happening. Okay. We have the 9 of Wands that comes through. We have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. Okay. We also have the Ace of Wands. Eight of Cups. Okay. Queen of Wands. Princess of Arrows, which is Princess of Swords. And lastly, we have Oppression. That is the card that comes through for them. The Ace of Wands. So I do feel that for whatever reason there is tension here. There is discord. And not to say that there's not love here. I do feel like there's a lot of love, but they have a lot of differences in regards to how they live and how they carry themselves. I do feel that Barnett, yes, he is indecisive and very sweet, but when it comes to his business, when it comes to working, he's very serious and he's very traditional about that. So being that he is the breadwinner of the family, I do feel that he's very one and done. He said what he said, and he can be stubborn. He's not going to just do it. He's very, I said what I said. I keep feeling that vibe. I keep feeling that energy. Now, if you watch the series, Amber revealed that she had some financial hurdles and financial problems. And Barnett knew of this, and, you know, he married her anyway. So, of course, love is here, not dismissing it. But the only thing that is affecting them is really how he navigates and how he handles his bills and how he handles holding it down. I feel that Amber wants to have a say in where certain things go, and Barnett is more so like, how about we just do things my way, because my way has been working out, and then I can ask you for advice if I need it. And Amber's like, no, we're husband and wife now, so I should get a say. And Barnett's energy is like, well, I'm the breadwinner, so like his energy is very, I said what I said, and it's going to be exactly what it is. Is even talking about him, like he's just very, very on top of it when it comes to his money, and I don't see him bending. We also see that the Queen of Wands and the Princess of Arrows is here. So this is talking about Amber's mother, and this is talking about Amber as well. So Barnett is letting it be known that it's his way or the highway. And that is why they were on the brink of breaking up. They said that on the reunion. They were on the lines of saying, you know what, that's it. I don't want to do this anymore. Because we have the Oppression card, which is here as well. So the Reconciliation card, being the first card that jumped out, is saying that they are trying to make things work. However, if Barnett is not willing to do what Amber wants, then the relationship could fizzle out, and I'll give it 5 years. And the reason why is because Amber wants a say in where certain things are going to go. Barnett is like, no, I pay the bills, I run this, it's going to be what I say. And I feel like a lot of this has to do with the fact that her credit is not the best right now and her money could be better. Now with Amber, she's going to start a business on social media. She will be starting a business and she will be able to keep herself afloat. However, in the meantime, Barnett holds the cards. He is wielding the sword. I'm shocked that King of Swords didn't pop up, but that's what I'm seeing. Now, on the flip side, there is a lot of sexual passion here. There's a lot of sexual energy. And I also see a baby for these two as well. But they have to learn how to compromise, and they have to learn to just see where the other person is coming from. Barnett has to not be so stubborn, and Amber has to be a little bit more understanding and not fly off the handle. But I am seeing another baby for Amber. And also, Amber's mom needs to not insert herself in this dynamic, because that could also become an issue down the line in the future. Other than that, if they don't learn to create these necessary boundaries and speak to each other and just have the love here in regards to where money goes and all of that, they could end up breaking up in less than 5 years, if not 5 years max. But if they talk to each other better and listen to each other, then they can definitely stay married for a long period of time. But a little rocky energy here, but nothing that they can't fix. This is why the tourmaline crystal came up for me to gravitate and use towards them energetically, because they just need to release and let go and listen to each other. Okay. Other than that, they have a very charismatic relationship. They're very funny together. They crack jokes all the time, and their relationship is very fiery. It's very hot, you know. But that's really the only thing they have to work on. But I do feel that Amber is going to get pregnant soon, and they need to work on their communication. And Barnett has to stop being a king of swords a little bit too much. So that's what I'm seeing for Barnett and Amber. Okay, so let's get into Giannina and Damien. Okay, these are the cards for Damien and Giannina. So let's see. Shuffle those cards. And the crystal that resonated with me for them is the selenite, shape in a heart. So what I heard for them intuitively is heaven sent. They were meant to come together. There's a reason why they are together. And the card that they received is boundaries. Clear boundaries are needed in this situation or relationship. Protect and honor your energy in a balanced way. Spend time alone if needed and reconnect when you're able to. Set healthy boundaries that are necessary and learn to say no when needed. So let's look into their cards. Let's see what's happening, because right now they are dating. We have the Four of Cups. So let's focus on his energy. Spirit, show me how he reacted when he left. What was his mindset when he wanted to come back to her? We have the Four of Cups. So he thought about her for a long time. When he was done filming, like the night after the whole thing, he instantly regretted it and he kept thinking about it. So it took him literally 3 days to 3 weeks to reach out to her. So he was the one that actually went out of his way to find her. He went out of his way to find her. He went out of his way to find her. Okay? Transformation. So it's almost, and I keep seeing night, like he popped up on her at night. He popped up on her at night. And I love that this is the Persephone and Pluto card, death and transformation. So if you guys don't know about Greek mythology, there's the story of Persephone. There's a story about Persephone who was taken by Hades, the god of the underworld, to make her his queen. And it's this whole story. I'll probably leave a link down below so you guys can know the whole backstory of it and why this card is so symbolic. So I will say that the whole experience changed his perspective and it changed him. When he came back to her, it is talking about it being nighttime and them having a deep conversation back and forth. But one thing about this couple is that they are very passionate. Like, I can say that for Damien, this is the most passionate, intense relationship that he's ever been in. Because he's with a Latina, and Latinas are passionate and fiery. He ain't used to that. He ain't used to that. He is not used to that. If you are Spanish, if you are Latina, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are strong and fiery. Y'all said what y'all said. And you could tell Damien, all American white boy, calm, and He grew up in a conservative family. He ain't never had that thunder, okay? He ain't never had that type of thunder. So he's over here like, what the fuck? She's so fiery. Because he's used to women that are like submissive and, you know, calm. But that's not Giannina. She said what she said. She's very straightforward. So it's talking about when they saw each other again, it was fiery. So it's like they had a deep conversation and then they just made up. It was just like this argument, and then it was crying, and then it was love making, and then it was just, okay, what the fuck are we doing? It was just very passionate and emotional, a lot of tears, a lot of yelling, and then, you know, they got busy. Like, the energy is just so like, ooh, it's hot. Triumph. So this was when they got back together. This is when they got back together. 10 of Pentacles. King of Cups. So one thing that Damien has to learn in this relationship is that him being emotionally vulnerable is needed. Him being emotionally available is needed. He tends to cover up his heart, and he tends to act like things are not happening when they are. He needs to be open, and he needs to just be as passionate as she is, and that's a challenge for him because he's actually naturally very reserved, whereas Giannina is not in that sense. When she loves you, and she's very loud about it. With him, it's quiet. So they could actually have their ups and downs because how they share love and how they give love is very different. Another thing that's coming through is boundaries. Even when you were watching the show, he was saying, oh, I would leave if you're always on your phone and this and that. And I'm seeing that that's how she works. Part of her career is being on social media. So he has to give her boundaries to do what she needs to do, but she has to respect him in a sense of, okay, social media time is done. I'm going to be focusing on him. Let's go on a walk. Let's go on a hike. Let's go here. Let's go there. They have to come with that compromise of, I know that you have to work, but make time for me. You know what I'm saying? No more low blows, no more subliminals, no more gaslighting. It's literally just, let's be open and honest and talk with one another. And that's what they're doing. But he's having a hard time opening up. And he's going to learn to open up. He's going to learn to open up slowly but surely because, again, he's not used to being in a relationship with someone who's very fiery and passionate. He's used to women that are submissive and to themselves. This is different for him. And I do feel that they'll break up, make up. Like they have that type of relationship where they will break up and then they come back together. I don't feel that his family is up for the relationship because they feel like it's too much. Again, they're not used to it. So they're like, why are you even in this shit? And he's like, I don't know. She fucking makes me crazy. They have the most intense sexual connection out of the couples that I've mentioned in this video. They have the most intense sexual connection. Like, okay, I'm gonna just be honest. They be fighting and fucking and fighting again and fucking, and then it's calm, and then they're fighting and fucking again. Like, that's just the vibe that they have. And they have to learn to listen to one another. So they could definitely be that couple that's kind of like, we're done. And then they get back together. And then we're done. So I agree with Damien. They weren't ready to get married. But they are ready to date. And they are ready to explore each other. And they are ready to figure this out. But this is going to be a very intense relationship. And what I want for them is for this intensity to dim down to a love that's kind. Because that's what needs to happen. And that can only happen if he opens up. Okay, so she has to be patient with him. And she has to be patient with him. And he needs to open up to her to make this work. So, sexual connection. The sexual connection. Okay, the 7 of Wands is here. Okay, sexual intimacy. So, ooh. Okay, 2 of Swords. Yeah, like they have this relationship where they're like, they're together and then they bicker. They're together and then they bicker. See? They're together and then they bicker. They're together and then they bicker. Okay? Then they get back together. Queen of Cups. She shows up as Queen of Cups. Okay. See? Do you guys see where I'm going with this? Like, they're just so passionate. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere and she ain't going nowhere. They're going to be together for a while. But they're going to break up and make up. Break up and make up. Break up and make up. they have the type of relationship that when they see each other, they start crying. It's just this thing. They have this love that's just very wild. And that's my only fear for these two. The love could be so wild that they might not make it in the end. And it might be too wild for it to calm down and be a love that's slow and steady. Because as you get older, that rah-rah shit got to calm down. So I trust that they will figure it out. Whatever they're meant to do, they were meant to be brought together. They were meant to be in this situation. And they're going to have some ups and downs, but that's any relationship. If they love each other, they will make it work. So, doing this reading, you see all sides of love. You see all sides of relationships. Not every relationship is going to be easy. Now, another fear that I have for this union is that it can easily slip into something toxic. If Damien doesn't learn to open up, and if Giannina doesn't learn to be patient with him, it can slip into something toxic. And that's just what I'm seeing. So they have to work on their boundaries, and they have to work on listening. Okay. Letting go of control issues. Damien has to stop controlling her. Okay. Religious factors. They have political differences and different spiritual beliefs too. It's like they love each other so much that they're overlooking what makes them so different, which is why they clash. So it's like love is kind and love is patient. Another thing that's coming through in the reading is that Giannina can be very jealous. So they could fight about women too. I don't feel like he's cheating, and I don't feel like he is going to cheat on her, but she can easily just be like, oh, why were you looking at her? What was that? It can slip into that. Okay. They are meant to be together. They are meant to be together. And I do feel that they will try to make this work, because they can't get enough of each other. Even when they break up, they come back to each other again. I'm going to watch these two. I'm going to watch them, because they need their own reality show. These two. The other two couples, one couple might not make it. The other couple, they're going to live a normal, happy life and be together. But this is that roller coaster love. All right, guys, that's what I'm seeing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video for Love is Blind and the 3 couples that resonated to me the most. I love you guys. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in regards to this reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Mwah. Bye.